Hey, what's going on? My name is Alex with Portland Event Films, and today I want to talk about how much does it cost to hire a live streaming company and how much gear does it cost if you are starting a live streaming company coming up. Hey, what's going on? My name is Alex with Portland Event Films. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Today, I want to talk to you about, if you're looking to hire a live streaming company and you get that sticker shock, like, man, that's a lot of money. Hopefully this video will help you understand why the price is what it is and how much it would cost if you had to buy all this equipment, or if you're starting a company yourself, what kind of equipment and what kind of investment are you looking to put forward to get started. So first of all, how much does it cost? You can do it for free if you want, but you'll start to see throughout this video that you're really limited on what you can do. So if you're looking for a free solution, you can use an iPad or iPhone. Go directly to Facebook, one platform, and record, and you're going live. So there is an option to do it for free, but that might work out perfect for what you're doing. But I'm gonna focus on the different situations and what you need to consider going forward. So when it comes to live streaming, one of the very first things that you need to tackle is internet. How are you going to get your product or your stream out to the world or whatever platform you're using? So that's one thing that you need to tackle. Do you have the ability to go in via Ethernet? Do you have to use a Wi-Fi signal? Are you using your phone's data plan? Me personally, with my company, we use cellular bonding. And so what that does is allow us to take Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and two cellular plans, combined it together for a high quality stream. So that way, if we lose one, our stream doesn't go down. So using a cell phone hotspot, sometimes that can work, or your cell phone's Wi-Fi, sometimes that can work. I would not do that. I would not trust that signal. A lot of times when I get to a venue or a certain place, I like to go in there, set up my computer and see what their hardwired connection looks like. Sometimes it's across the building and I bring, 300 feet of Ethernet cord, plug it in to see what kind of signal I'm getting. I'm trying to shoot for an upload speed, not a download speed, an upload speed of a bare minimum of 10 megabytes a second, because we usually stream at between 3 to 5 megabytes a second for a 720 feed. The biggest thing is internet, and that's probably one thing that we absolutely can't control. We do our best to make sure that we use that cellular bonding, because that is the best option for a reliable internet. But that is like the one thing that's out of our control, and is probably the most important piece that you need to get figured out. Probably the next important thing is you need to figure out what platform you are streaming to, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, private link, LinkedIn. You need to figure out what stream or what platform you want to stream to, and if you're going to stream to multiple platforms. So we actually use some paid software that allows us to stream to multiple places at once. You're also going to need to know how to set up a stream that's scheduled, so that way you can send it out to everybody, let everybody know when you're going live. And so you have to figure out how to set up a stream key to get this process going to set up. And that's why it's usually good to hire a professional company to get everything set up so everything is in the right place. So that way when you go live, it actually goes out to the world. Because I've had it, in my early days where we're getting ready to set it up and it wouldn't let me go out. I had to get some stuff changed on like the YouTube or the Facebook and make everything streamless. So we use some paid software so that way that we can stream to multiple places at once. So the number of cameras really going to depend on what all you guys are doing, but we have anywhere between 2 to 6 different cameras. And then we also have a computer input. This allows us to do slideshows. We run a program that's called Pro Presenter. So if we have to have like lower thirds, people's social handles, anything that has to do with graphic imaging, we can put on top of the video. And so this really depends on what you're going to do. But if you're buying cameras, this can be as cheap as, $1,000 per camera. Us personally, we use our mirrorless DSLRs, which are a production level camera. So the camera alone are about $2,000. And then the lenses that we put on top of these cameras are anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000 a lens. So you can see when you start incorporating these different cameras at a higher level, the price can add up really quick. Switching between different cameras, laptops, graphic elements, it's all based around a video switcher. So we have two of them. For our smaller production, we use the ATEM Mini Pro. This thing is absolutely beautiful when it comes to doing what it does. It's a little limited, but what it does very well. So this allows us to switch between 4 different camera inputs. It also gives us a multi-view so we can see all the cameras on one screen. So we can also record a program feed that allows us to record all the switching onto an SSD. So if the live stream goes down or it's not exactly what we want at the end of the live stream and you want to have a backup, we have that recorded onto a drive, and then we can also send out the live stream through something that's called the Stream Bridge to the computer, to the internet. So it's kind of limited on what it does, but if you need something to switch between 4 different cameras, this is really good. You can also bring in all 4 cameras audio, plus you have 2 more mic inputs that you can add into your live stream. So for our bigger productions, we use the ATEM TV Studio, and what this is allows us to hook up about 8 different cameras. We can bring the cameras in, and then we can also send out. So a lot of times we're not just doing a live stream, but it's a live conference. So we can send out cameras to the live stream, but then also if we have TVs around the room for people that are actually attending the event, they can see all those. We can also do a multi-feed, and then what we like to do is route all those cameras into a recorder, so then we can record all 4 cameras all at the same time instead of just a program output. So what that does, it will record each individual camera from start to finish, versus the program feed only records what people are seeing at this time. So when you're switching between the cameras, what's not being seen on the live stream does not get recorded. And so that's kind of the differences. So it really just depends on your production needs, how many different cameras that you're switching from, and what do you need from a camera switcher? Do you need just the 4 inputs, or do you need something more where we have 8 different inputs, and then also bringing in a program feed, being able to have a multi-view at the same time and record all the cameras simultaneously? So one of the biggest things is being able to capture audio. Now the ATEM Mini Pro is really good because you can bring in all the camera feed audios, and then you can bring in 2 different mics via 3.5 jacks, which isn't the best quality. So when we need higher end quality, we're gonna move into the TV switcher. So with my company personally, what we do is we run into what's called a band mixer or an audio mixer. So we can bring in up to, I think, like 15 different mic channels. So on our bigger productions, we bring in an audio engineer so that way they can set up all the mics, EQ all the mics, so it's a high quality sound for either post-processing or for the people that are watching online. But if it's just 1 to 2 people or just 1 microphone for a small service, then we'll just plug that directly into the ATEM Mini Pro to get the audio feed. One thing you need to really consider is where are the cameras going to be located and kind of like where you're going to set up. Now, the most common cord is a HDMI cord. Now, HDMI cords are really good for about 25 feet and less. As soon as you start getting over the 25 feet, depending on the cord, you might have some connection issues. The lips start, getting out of sync from the audio, and you have little glitches. So for longer runs, that's when we start moving into SDI cables, because you can go up to like 350 feet. After 350 feet, you need to switch to fiber. But this is for stationary cameras that are around the room, but are a little bit longer than 25 feet. We also have a wireless HDMI transmission, and what this allows us to do is put it on the camera and be able to move around the room or follow action if we need to at the time. So it really depends on the setup, and this is usually why I like to do like a site walkthrough, figuring out what exactly we need so we can figure out, 1, the audio, and then also where do we want the cameras, how do we have to move them around, are all the events happening in one room, are we going to move into a different room? So these are all things that we like to cover, but we like to know what we're doing. And so that way when we show up on the day of, there's no surprises of like, oh, by the way, we're going to do this in here, and then we're moving into another room. So if we have to move into another room, having this wireless video transmission is really, really key to be able to not pick up everything and relocate and reset up. We can take this. Now it does have its limitations. I think it goes up to about 400 feet, but if we're projecting through walls, I trust it up to about 200 feet. So for these, we use the Hollyland Mars 400S Pro, and it's a really great setup as far as trying to transmit wireless signal. So when it comes to the cost of live streaming, you can see there are many different variables. Is it a small service? Are we doing a full scale concert, sporting event? So it's really just going to depend on what kind of event you're doing, how many people are there, and the production. But if you're doing like a really small event, I would expect somewhere, not included the setup, but you should be paying about $200 to $300 an hour. But when you're getting to the bigger productions, depending on how many hours, I've seen it anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000, and it just really depends on the amount of production level, how many people we need to bring out to accomplish our goals. And so really think about what you need and what is your end result, conveying that from the live stream to your customer. Thank you guys for watching this video. My name is Alex with Portland Event Films. If you guys have any more questions, leave them in the comments below. I will have in the description a list of all the gear that we use for our live streaming events.